Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Well, this is like your Friday because it's your last school day of the week. Okay, several of you still have to work on your Pick Your Poison project. So it's due today. So let's try to make sure we get that wrapped up. And if you've already finished it, and half of you have, please make sure that you go back and check for any other missing work. I'm real pleased. I've been writing them down. Real pleased that in that I didn't assign any poisons, but you all did a good job of so far of choosing different ones. So far I haven't run into anybody doing the same so far. Anybody doing the same two poisons. I find that very interesting. And what I'd like to do next week is to do a gallery walk so that you can look at other people's presentations. So I'm not going to ask you to present, but I'm going to ask you I'm going to create a Nearpod page that you'll just upload your project, and um, we'll have an assignment where you have to look at at least three other projects other than your own. All right, so just doing a recap on what you should be doing. Let me let some more folks in. All righty, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so again, what you are looking for and then you want to make sure that you include this in your explanation too. When you pick your poison, you need to say this is a household poison, this is an environmental poison, this is an animal poison, or a poison that you can get from an animal, a poison that you can get from a plant, poison that you can get from ingesting a certain type of food. So you want to make sure that you include what kind of heading it is. You have to pick two of these headings. Now, I suggested for those of you who hadn't started yet, I suggested that you take the heading and you put this in your search, and then you'll come up with a list of different poisons under each of these headings. You don't have to do them all. You just need to pick one from the list and do that. So a lot of you, like I said, have done a good job of finding one that was interesting and not everybody doing the same. So it was better than if I had assigned you something to do. So you have to pick two headings and then find a poison under each of the two headings that you select. As far as the rubric is concerned, you have 5 points, and that's worth 25% of the grade on the first one. So you want to make sure that you have include information on number one, describe the poison or organism with the poison. Number two, what type of poison is it? Meaning, and not the heading, household, environmental, meaning what organ of the body does it affect? Okay, it is a nervous system poison. Is it a muscular poison? What part of the body does it affect? What cells does it target as it's taking effect? The level of toxicity. Sometimes you can have a little bit and it won't hurt you. How much of this will actually hurt you, kill you, cause damage to your system? And what's next? What symptoms would you show if you ingested or affected by this poison? And last, you have your fifth topic. You have a choice. You could talk about how to detect it forensically. You can talk about a case study that was involving that particular type of poison. You can talk about the treatments for that poison and the lasting effects. So For the fifth topic, you have a choice of these four headings to add as your information. So again, one is starting from here, points must include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you need to have, so in your rubric, you sufficiently and accurately give information on those 5 points. You get 5 points for having including an illustration of the poison. And then it should be neat. Don't try to cram everything on one slide. In other words, if you can spread this information, you can have 10 slides. So you can have one slide for each of these. Don't try to get it all on one slide. It should be attractive, be creative. You need to have at least 2 references. And remember, Google is not a reference. AI is not a reference. You need to go to a website, a reputable website, and include that in your, so you get 5 points for including your references. And then you need to do the same thing with the second poison. Pick the second poison from your second heading and go through the same 5 points again. Okay? So that's for a total of 85 points. If you wanted extra credit, some of you might have an assignment that you haven't done and you want to make that one go away. There's 15 points worth of extra credit that you can do by just doing a third poison, but you have to do the same thing for that third poison. So I do see some zeros out there. So while you're working on this, if you wish to add a third poison, I will add that 15 points to whatever grade you are missing. Any questions? Any questions? All right. Again, neat, presentable, include pictures. Use the rubric to go back and make sure that you're going to get full credit. Being as this is Friday's schedule, I'll do office hours during 7th period today if you need to pop in and have a conversation. All right, so if you've already finished yours and you want to do the extra credit, you can go ahead and add that. Just upload it. Again, you should be able to do that. If not, let me know. And I will, it's not closed, so you should be able to add an additional set if you want to add it there, but add it there and say extra credit so that I know to take that information and put it someplace else. All right, I lost somebody already. All right, and folks, don't go logging out because I don't do attendance until after like midway when I think everybody's here. So if you signed in and then you sign out, you might get marked absent. Also, some of you sign in and then don't do any work. Today, this assignment is due today. So if you're signed in, there shouldn't be a reason for the assignment not being done today. Classwork during class time. Let me put that back up. Somebody just came in. I know some of you all were on the field trip the other day, so you're kind of getting a late start, but please focus on trying to get this done as much as possible today. Again, if you are logged in, it shouldn't say idle. It should show that you're actually engaged in the assignment. And again, you can Google the types of poison, but you need to find a search, an actual website, and not just take the information off of Google. Google is a search engine. It's supposed to help you search somewhere else. A forensic site, a medical site, someplace like that that you can get information on that type of poison. EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, is an official site. Okay. You again, for those of you who came in late, you have four headings. Pull it back up. You have four headings. You have household, environment or environmental. You have animal, you have plant, and you have food. You want to pick two of those headings and look them up, and you're going to get a whole list of poisons that fall under those two headings. Pick one from each. Okay, you're only identifying. So you have a heading, and then you've identified one type of poison underneath two of those headings. Okay, not one from each. So example, if you do household bleach, might be a household poison. Animals, some of you all are doing, I don't want to put it out there because then y'all will copy, but a couple of people have talked about snakes or different animals that if they bite you, they're poisonous. Yes, venom counts as a poison. Venom is definitely a poison. And it's an animal poison. So that the heading, sorry, the heading would be animal for venom. And then you need to explain which animal it's coming from. There's a couple of animals. That's okay, I got you. Okay. So again, you can Google the headings, the four headings, and they will give you a list of things that fall under that heading. Pick one of those and then go to a website that will tell you about that particular poison. I don't want a general topic of household poisons. I don't want a general topic of animal poisons. You want to pick one specific poison underneath that heading. Okay. And then you want to make sure that for that poison, you want to cover the five topics. Describe the poison itself or the animal that it comes from. Describe the type of poison, meaning what organ of the body does it target? Does it go to the brain? Does it go to the liver? Does it um, make you paralyzed? That kind of thing. What does that poison target? With the level of toxicity, how much of it needs to, and so this one is a measurement, how much of it will cause illness or even death? What symptoms are we looking for? If you're, especially if you're, excuse me, a forensic toxicologist, which is what you all are for this particular activity, what symptoms are you looking for? And then your last point is one of these. It doesn't have to be all of these, but it should be one of these. Okay. So if you are a toxicologist, how do you detect it on a corpse? Or you can give a description of a case that was solved that involved that particular poison. Or you can just talk about the possible cures, if there are any, for that poison. The lasting effect, if you survive it, are there any lasting effects? So pick one of those four as your fifth point. Include pictures and a reference. Yes, it does not have to be a forensics case. It can be accidental digestion. So a lot of times they talk about what happens if you ingest this poison. So yes, that would be um, it might be something that people commonly ingest and they show up um, quite often. So yes, that would count. You're welcome. Spiders are animals that have poisons. Just throwing some ideas out there. Hmm. Um, and just remember, AI is not a website, so make sure you take the information that they give you and find a legitimate website. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let me see if I can't get this particular one. All right, anybody else running into a problem with the topic of plant poisons? I'm going to, you might have to use Wikipedia for that one. All right, let me put in a request on this one. Mm, let me see. Could be that somebody is watching you. There's a lot of conflict things up here. All right. Jordan, I'm just curious. Try it again. Still. Okay. Okay. Well, let me see if I can get Mr. Phillips to check on that. Okay, I'm putting in a request for, maybe they don't want you to know about poisons. All right, I put in a request. Let's see what happens. We may have to not do, like I said, it might be a reason why they've blocked researching plant poison, but I put in a request anyway for that particular website. Shouldn't be blocked. It's a university, but we'll see. Wait and see what he says. Wait and see what he says. Okay, Mr. Phillips is on it. So I'll let you know in a minute whether he gets it opened up for you. Okay. Mr. Phillips said to try the link. So I'm going to put this link in the chat for you all. He said if you get blocked, um, stay on that blocked page. So I put this is for those of you who are looking for plant poisons. So I guess he's going to be looking at GoGuardian and he'll unblock you from there. So go ahead and Try the website that I just put in the chat if you want to do a plant poison. And he said if it says block, stay there and he'll unblock it. Okay, I see some of you got there. Now that's for the plant one. I don't know about the Isaiah. I see you're looking at one that's blocked. But stay there for a minute. He might be watching. Right. So the plant one is unblocked. So you can look up plant ones if you use that link. If there's something else that you're trying to look up and you get blocked, let me know. Hmm. Okay. What particular, Abigail, what particular thing are you looking for? Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot. All right, thank you. Um, if you're trying to get on the plant site, click on it now, and Mr. Williams is watching, and he's going to unblock it as you click. So Jordan, try it again. If you were looking, if you, yeah, try it again. And he says he's watching. I know he unclicked Isaiah's. So there you go. So see if you can click on the one that you want. All right, and then save it quickly because class is almost over. About another 5 minutes. And that goes for anybody else. If you have not done your plant poisoning, that's what you wanted to do. Mr. Williams is watching. Okay, good. Thank. Good, good, good. He's watching. He's watching. He's unclicking as you get there. Okay, folks, if you're in a good place to stop, go ahead and do so. Any questions before you go? All right, remember this, and I'm going to put change the due date to tomorrow so you can work on it a little bit, so it won't be late. But this is due, so please try to get it finished up by the end of the day. All right, you have a great weekend. Enjoy the long weekend and see you next week. Bye.